Hello YouTubes, welcome back to the Basement Card Collector. Today's video is going to be a recap from a stop into our super cool local card shop. Love going there. I've made several videos about going there, and he is just always turning over new cards. There's always something to dig through. There's always something in my vintage collection to find. There's some of my minor leaguers, or some of my cubbies and my players that I collect, and sets that I'm building, and jersey cards and bat cards and autographs and Jason Franken sets, and even the things I don't even know I need. This is the stack we brought home this time. Let's take a peek who's joining us on the show today. Mr. Andre Dawson, thank you for coming. I grabbed a record breaker Brooks Robinson just because it's a vintage card. It's actually going to be for my top set that we're building. A really cool recent pickup of Ivan Rodriguez on the Tulsa Drillers minor league card. That's from AA. And a John Stockton rookie card on that Fleer from the Hall of Fame guard. They're all going to be joining us on the show today. Let's take a peek. This is the stack. He does put them in a baggie for us as we come home. Oh man, what a great stack here. I'm just going to show you first with some Cubs. This could be Cubby's binder, Mr. Dawson on the classic 1990. The Rite Aid Team MVPs card. These were all in the 5 for $1 box if they're unsleeved. And again, I have several of the Sandbergs. Really cool little run of these random Gracie cards. Love that design. How cool is that? Also 5 for $1. Ran into a little run here of Mark Grace. And again, I haven't seen most of these, and if I have them, they will go in my Cubbies binder. One more Grace. And for that 90 classic, so that was pretty fun. Ron Santo on the Ted Williams. Ron Santo on the Swell. How about this for being pretty sweet? The Oklahoma City 89ers coach, Ferguson Jenkins. It looks like he could still bring it though. Something tells me he threw some BP to those kids on that squad too. Ooh man, sneaky cool cards here. These are 1983 Thornapple Valley cards, which you're thinking, what's the big deal? Out of all the cards that were left in this team set, two guys I found, Lee Smith and Fergie Jenkins. And here's a pretty sweet little coach's card from the 1983 squad, which is also fine. This was a really cool, actually, let's just make this the separator right here. That is really cool because in 1983, there was a youngster, and I believe it's him on the edge of the bench right here in the first row. Miss Ryan Sandberg on a random rookie card from that Thorn Apple Valley card. Pretty cool. Actually, I don't know why these are the only 4 cards that were in the box there, but I was super happy to find those. We're going to put that All-Stars Gracie on the front of this stack. So stack number 1, some Cubby goodness. And again, those could end up in the collection of Gracies, but at the very least into the Cubbies binder. 2 really cool from the 75 tops. I actually picked up 2 of them. The Ernie Banks Jackie Jensen card. And again, we're building that 75 tops and my Cubbies team set and the Ernie Banks, so somewhere we will get a hold. Those will be into the right spot. Picked up 2 really fun team cards of my Cubbies, 65 tops. Just one of the coolest looking sets there is. And we picked up a 1970 tops. And again, I am also working on a team set run of every Cubs set. Every Cubs team set, and so we love finding those. Even if we get doubles, we don't mind that. Speaking of vintage cards, check out the run we went on here. Nice little stack of, again, this will go into the Nolan cards. Off cut, but that's okay. There's Bart blowing the bubble card. And again, team cards, I just dig them. Here's Dick Williams on the Angels. Here's Jack McKeon of the Royals. That's actually a George Brett Rookie Year team set card. Here's a Mets card, but that's the manager that I picked it up for, Yogi Berra. Here's an Indians card, but look at the manager, Frank Robinson. And I think at this time he was manager / DH. Picked up some cards for some friends. Here's Eddie Watt. Great channel out there in Nebraska. Our buddy Drew at Clean Cheap Shots has a really cool series of interviewing Eddie Watt. Here goes a gold cup for the collection. Ran into a couple of those. Bill Madlock. And again, this will go first towards the set build. Maybe the Cubbies binder. Again, gold cup, gold cup. Love these. There's Bucky Dent on the White Sox. So again, nice little 75 stack. I have also been picking up cards that show celebrations of like major accomplishments. Here they are, the Tigers celebrating that World Series. Really fun. Back to the Gold Cup section here. How cool that logo is. And again, we picked up a few. The names, not such a big deal, but it's just more of for the collection. Marcelino. Yes. One more. Pat Corrales, pretty cool. And I think we have one more pretty cool there. The Swoboda's probably the coolest looking card there. But I just picked up some team cards too of the Senators. How about this? Yankees on the 67. And actually two of the coolest names from the 75 tops. Mr. Herb Washington. And if you notice his position, that is correct. Pinch runner. And there's one more really cool A's card. His name is John Odom. Probably familiar with him, but he's more of the reason I picked him up is his nickname, Blue Moon Odom. And so ironically, two of the craziest cards are from I think from the 75 tops are both with the Oakland A's. John Blue Moon Odom. I do love the Blue Moon. And Herb Washington, pinch runner. So just kind of cool random cards that were in. Here's Mr. Jim Mudcat Grant, one of the Black Aces. But check out these two cards that were in the vintage pickups for this trip. Hall of Famers, Gil Hodges and Al Lopez on the 69 tops, and they are crazy sharp. Great art on the back. But these are gonna go into my new adventure in the creating of a Hall of Fame binder. We're trying to get one card to represent every Hall of Famer. And I did that thanks to RJ Collect Sets, Rev Steve's cards. There's just a bunch of people doing it. I thought, man, that does sound fun. I think I could use one more project. And so somewhere we're gonna start building a Hall of Fame binder. And we're gonna try to get a playing card or somewhat close, a cool card, I shouldn't even say that, a cool card of that player. I picked these up mostly for Zach over at Zach and Porter. Just fun. Albert Bell, I just ran on a little run, so that one's really fun. This one is really cool. Check that thing out. A cut above. It's shaped like a saw blade. And Zach, check this out. The star card from the Canton Akron. And then just a 90 leaf. And actually this 90 leaf is a great indicator of just baseball cards. Check out what this sticker first was. $10. Slashed to $2. And I think that's a 50 for 50 cents. And I picked this up in the 5 for $1 box over the weekend. So Zach, pick those up for you if you follow Zach and Porter. Great channel. Zach, all of them, none of them, some of them, let me know. Just some random cards in a row here. I think you'll like these. I definitely do. Brian Taylor on the classic silver. Can do a video on him come sometime soon. Nolan Ryan, yes. This is from that Fleer update set with his 5000K logo there. That's pretty fun. I'd shown these before. Oh, okay. Well, I picked this up because it was who I thought first was Roger Clemens. That's Tom Seaver. And apparently there's a Pedro Guerrero in the back of this. Okay. Anyway, this is also photos by Rob Broder. And again, Zach Porter, he's good at calling them Broder cards or basement cards. And we've kind of joked back and forth. I prefer to call them basement cards. They just have a photo like you took them with your camera. And then this guy named Rob Broder, which was kind of famous for those at the time, just calls them Broder cards. So those are fun. A couple other kind of random cards here. 1992 classic Jason Kendall for the Jason Franken set. Oh, look at this one though. This is a Griffey Jr. from that same kind of Broder-ish era. But check out the year. 1989. I guess this goes down as a Griffey rookie card. Cool, random, but very fun. And then the matching Bo Jackson that came from that same set. I will always pick this up in the $1, really 50 cents. This was in the 5 for $1 box. Yes, please, Dion Prime Time Sanders. Rookie card of Bernie Williams. Maddox, who needed this. Same thing for Nolan. I can't pass that stuff up for a dime, man. Oh, I'm sorry, 5 for $1. Same for Ozzie Smith. I also just love Tony Gwynn, and for some reason I find myself picking up Tony Gwynn and Ozzie Smith cards at all of these trips that I go. Thought this was fun. Check out the giant bat, the league leader card, probably some kind of commemorative award ceremony or something happening. Tony Gwynn on the really fun Stadium Club card. And again, a really cool SP card of Tony Gwynn as well. Told you, we love Tony Gwynn. We love Ozzie Smith. There's a Quaker Chewy. Thought this was fun. Big League Challenge, Albert Pujols early on, 04. Again, 5 for $1. And again, I like things just like this. This is the inaugural year, talking about the Rockies and the Marlins. I just think anything that's like that, that just kind of commemorates a date or an accomplishment, I think that's fun. And so I picked up these 2 little coins. We are going to put that Dion on top because, well, I like Dion. Moving on, we've got about half the stack left, and some of these will be easy to cruise through here. These are going to be basically cards that I'm looking for this new project of the Hall of Fame binder. And I've been watching just baseball history videos as I'm kind of hanging out, and Addie Joss is a great name to know. Same thing for Burley Grimes, just players that I won't have many cards of, but it'd be cool to have, you know, some of these be represented. Chief Bender is one of those other players that are just before my day, obviously, but I don't have a lot of options for his cards. Same thing for the Mickey Mantle on the Kmart card. Love that. Still looking for my first playing days Mantle card, but I love these oddballs, these shiny reprints of anything with him on it. Same thing for Babe Ruth. I've never seen that one before. It's kind of an odd photo for a card if you think about it. Him and the boy giving a ball back, or maybe he's signing a ball. One of the iconic photos of Lou Gehrig on that same Swole set. Thought this was fun. This is like my 3rd or 4th of these finding in the dime. I keep saying dime box. The 5 for $1 box. It's a Jim Palmer, but it's that Permagraphics. I just think it's like credit card type material. It's like the 3rd or 4th different player I've picked up. Eleanor Engel on that like 53 tops. It was one of the females to kind of play back in those days. And so this is a card, a replica, of course, but that's random stuff. I love that. Here's some cards coming up for the Hall of Fame binder. That shiny Greenberg. Mr. Ernie Harwell, Tigers, kind of some Tiger consecutive there. Tony Perez. Joe Morgan. And again, I'll have playing days cards of some of these guys, and a lot of them are in my binders too. I just have collections of, same for Raleigh, I collect him too. So that's going to be the Hall of Fame project that's new. That's going to take a while, but I think it could be fun to do. Put that Mickey on top. And here is probably the easiest part to show our buddy. Let's kind of sort these like so. Okay, so this chunk will be pretty simple. My card shop has binders now and boxes sorted by years. Yours probably does, but that's somewhat of a new thing here. And so I just went through and rated 3 years of cards, plucked these out for my team set. You can see that's what happens sometimes when you get just excited to see a Cubby card, so you throw them in the pile when you get home and you sort them. But you can see here, we just really hit some home runs for the Cubbies set. The Cubbies binder is going to be ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Here's Kessinger. And again, no big names, but for the Cubbies team set, it's just I don't have many. So I did really well here with the 67s. We will get that. That will be a huge improvement from what we had. I also hit up found less of them, but still we found the 69 box and picked up 4 cards, 2 of the rookie stars, and then just, again, not anybody really home to, to write home about, but for the 69 Topps team set, that'll be nice. And 67, 69, and then we hit 75, pretty good too. So, and again, these will go straight to the Cubbies binder. And really, I think I'm taking the Cubs binder over the team set. I'm sorry, over the actual set. And if we get doubles, I just got to figure out which way to go. I'm not quite sure. Is it binder first and then set? Or is it set and then the binder? And I'm not totally sure. I actually showed this pickup here. Again, these are more for some buddies. My Junk Wax Genius, Warren D at the CLE. Check out these Will Clarks. And again, these are all from that same kind of Broder-ish basement card type. And they all have different backs, so the collector's choice. Here's our Rob Broder set. And then this is kind of fun for me, being from Indiana, called the Indiana Blue Sox. And I don't know what that means or what that is, but I know I dig it because it says Indiana. And also, again, back for Zach and for Porter this time, picked up, again, 2 Jim Abbott kind of random cards. Again, USA cards, so I will keep one of those and send one your way, Porter, if you need one or if you need either of these. But again, pick those up for you. If you're interested, again, let me know. Both of them, neither of them. And then here come the biggies. Here's my biggest. I like to hit up the vintage if I can. And so check out what we bought here. Excellent for the Gold Cup collection, Mr. Tony Oliva on the 65 Topps, which I just can't get enough of those. Great color. It just looks like vintage baseball. And it is, obviously, but like, batting gloves. I love the trophy, love the logo. Just really, really fun. So very cool card on the vintage pickup. We did find... Yeah, let's talk about this while we are here. Here's one of my boo-boos. Just throwing him in a pile, and I saw the big C on the hat. And once I took a closer inspection when I got back and realized, hey, jersey does not say Chicago, it says the other team. So I picked this up. It says 60 Fleer, I think. Mr. Hal Trotsky, not a Chicago Cub. So we picked this up, and you know what? So Warren, I told Warren I might send this his way if he needs that. If he doesn't, fine. But so not what I was looking for. Picked up 2 leaders cards for my Cubbies. Just in great shape too. Home run leader with Billy Williams at the bottom. And here's a pitching leader card with Bob Gibson, Gaylord Perry, Ferguson. 3 Hall of Famers. Can't beat that. 3 Hall of Famers, so 6 Hall of Famers on 2 cards. Just really, really easy to say yes to those. And that black border and those things are just in really fun shape. Okay, we've got 2 cards for the Mr. Ernie Banks run on the 69 Topps home run leader card with, again, now 3 Hall of Famers on 1 card. Willie McCovey, Richie Allen, and my man Ernie Banks. And again, that had seen better days, but that's okay. That is perfect for me. I have a copy, and if I run across another copy somewhere down the road, that's cool too. And if I don't, I have a copy. Speaking of better copies, this is an upgrade of the card current copy that I have, and now I have my second 1969 Ernie Banks base card. And again, one will be in my Ernie collection, one will go in my Cubs team set binder, so I just somehow need doubles of Ernie Banks cards, and that's not easy for me to do on what we spend for a budget, but super happy to pick both of these up. But I show all of that because that was a fun trip as usual. I get in there about once a month, and I try to pick up some of the things, like I said, team sets, players, team cards, vintage sets, and even my new project. I'm going to start a Hall of Fame player binder. All of that said, check out the favorite card we brought home on this most recent trip to my favorite card shop. Wow. Ted Williams, 1958 Topps. I had, before this, not had a playing days card of him. I do have a couple coaches cards. I want to say 1 or 2 of them maybe, but either way, Boston Red Sox, you can read it, outfield, Ted Williams, and that look, the guy just knows what's going on. And so this was a card that I had found. I'm like, how much for this? And my man Randy, so here's the front, very clear, fairly centered. Somebody glued this thing down into something, and I don't mind. I'm not really looking at the back. I know I have a Ted Williams 1958 Topps card and couldn't be happier. And the fact that it cost me almost nothing is just a bonus that I can live with that. And so that concludes our most recent trip in. Love stopping in there. If you're ever in that area, Indiana, northern corner, it's just a tiny little shop in a tiny little town. It's just a great place to hang out. Randy and Barb are awesome, and I love going and just can't wait to get back every time I leave. So thank you again, folks. Thank you for sticking around and watching some baseball cards and looking at some cards with me. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.